I'm gonna do something I've never done before. A top tier list. I'm a Slytherin, by the way. I got inspired for this type of video by the multiple top tiers, which one of my favorite YouTuber did. Moist Critical, aka Penguinzo, aka Charlie. He's the coolest. Love his songs too, they are chef kiss. Real to me is my favorite. Anyways, let's dive into the magical, fantastic world that is Harry Potter's. Yeah. By the way, Hogwarts, I'm still waiting for my letter. I'm kind of fed up with those muggles. Twanko. He's got a sizzling bad from Holy. It's me, Maria, aka Holy Spicy Chicken Wing here. What up, space monkeys? Yo, Freddy, hit the gong, King Kong. Hey, look at this perfect board I designed. It's nice, huh? I'm gonna rank my favorite Harry Potter movies from what I feel are the best to the ones I like the least. And hopefully you will feel me. I wanted to go back on a trip to memory lane with that one. Let's get to it. So, the first Harry Potter was released when I was 5 in 2001, and I grew up watching Hogwarts evolving. It started all at Privet Drive with Hagrid, Dumbledore, and Professor McGonagall. Seeing Hagrid being all emotional from having to separate himself from Harry made me like him instantly. He's like a giant teddy bear, which is why he's one of my favorite movie characters from this series. He's so unproblematic and all about his animals. He's the sweetest, like a giant teddy bear, and we get to see that the very instant in the movie. So that's a plus. And as we start to discover the character of Harry in the first one, we notice his first encounters with magic. Him being actually able to speak to snakes, for instance. He's lovable from the beginning because of him being treated like the ugly duckling, which is, by the way, one of my favorite fairy tales, because it's not about princes or princesses, queens and blah blah blah. It's about a duck. One of my favorite parts in the first one is actually Harry being flooded with a tsunami of letters from the Hogwarts School of Magic, which his uncle Vernon, of course, didn't want to even see. Him being denied of the reality of magic and being persecuted relentlessly from his uncle and aunt led him to look like an unfortunate boy who didn't matter. But Hagrid came back in his life once he turned 11 and baked a cake for him. And damn, I love that cake. And I'm so proud of Hagrid's baking skill. Like, if a man cooks something like that for me, I'd marry him instantly. You can see the effort of the purity behind the action. Innocence is priceless to me, and Hagrid has it all. This is why Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone is definitely an S tier for me. We get to see all these countless details which we love in this magical world. The first encounter with Ron, Hermione, and Harry. Their first meeting with danger. We get to know how Harry lost his parents from the get-go. We get to see him grow and catch his first snitch in Quidditch for a first year. We see him feeling mattered as he transcribes his energy to this new world of magic, and we witness his first Christmas gift in this magnificent setting, which is Hogwarts. He was so excited to actually get one gift because he wasn't expecting any, and that's so cute and it hurts, and yeah, definitely S tier for me. One of my favorite moments from the first one is when he explored and found the mirror of erased, however you spell it, but it means desire backwards, which according to Dumbledore, it shows the deepest, most desperate desire of our hearts. And when he looked in the mirror, he didn't see fame, glory, gold. All he saw was his parents standing behind him, and he sat up all night in front of it just to be with them. And that brings genuine tears to my eyes. Just even thinking about it, it's so precious. That moment in itself is more than an S tier could be, you know? Let's not forget about Hagrid's doggy appearance, that ball of fluff, and I love Cerberus. I always wanted to own one. Hades' little companion. I love mythological creatures. In case you didn't know, my favorite animal is a unicorn. I think it says a lot about me. If you want to know me, just know I love unicorns. It explains so damn much if you think deeply about it. Oh, and Ron had a special moment in this that I didn't want to miss talking about. Because Hermione has the intelligence, the wits. Harry has the unwanted fame, the curiosity, the luck. But Ron was always perceived as clumsy, the ginger-haired boy who was just there. But he had his moments where in the ending, during the epic chess game, he became a knight. It has shown his courage despite his nature of being scared and clumsy, and I love that for him. You know what? Actually, this is not an S tier. I'm gonna do a section that I will add because I don't like to do anything like anyone else. I'm gonna add a tier to my rankings. And as this is my channel, I'm gonna rank other things when I want to. So, Harry and the Sorcerer's Stone to me is a, drumroll please, a holy tier. Woo! Yeah, I'm gonna add holy. It's gonna be part of it now. Let's attack the second one. Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. Oh, the nostalgia. We get to meet Dobby for the first time, so that's lovely. He was kind of mysterious and annoying at the beginning because he didn't want Harry to come back to the magical world. Then we get Ron with his brothers who rescue Harry. To get the hell out of here, I understand though. The Muggle world kinda suck if you ask me. Let me breathe unicorn thoughts in peace, Muggles. One of my favorite moments is when Ron got a howler from his mom because he stole the flying car. So she was screaming at him, and it looked so cute because it was a letter with a teeth and a tongue. Kawaii, Mama Weasley. She was kawaii as a letter, as a howler. And do you remember also the Phoenix in Dumbledore's office? It was marvelous. I loved the part when Albus was explaining to Harry how Phoenix tears could heal wounds. I love that. It's all in the little things. But I didn't appreciate the spiders in the Enchanted Forest. Like, I would be exactly like Ron. I'm not that scared of them, but the number of eyes and legs that they have makes me really uncomfortable for some reason. Hagrid's Aragog looked vile, especially when we were children. So it's a no from me. The Chamber of Secrets looked splendid. The aesthetic of it is like on point. This is how I would like the entrance of my home to look like, type of thing, you dig? We got to see another heroic act from Harry by rescuing Ginny in the chamber, but it's losing some points from me because of this guy, Gilderoy Lockhart. He's such a pain in the bum. The professor of defense against the dark arts who think he's the He is so over his head. Like, get a grip, calm your tits, Catherine. Go crochet a scarf or something, cause it's just, It's just cringe, the amount of confidence that man has for nothing. But. Dobby being set free is my favorite moment in this one, and this is the only reason why I am giving it an 8 tier, comparing to the others, which we will see in a few minutes. What is your favorite moments from the second one? Let me know. Number 3, Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. Overall, it's okay. It started off with Marjorie, aka Marge Dursley, spitting venom on Harry's parents simply because they are wizards and she probably jealous. But this felt horrible. She told her family about how she believes that Harry's mom is like a in front of Harry himself. And to be honest, a lot of people might be hating on this character. And by the way, every cast in Harry Potter are mostly great actors, because we hate people in there like the Dursleys, which means they did a great job, right? Marge deserved to explode like a balloon, but I guess her just floating away is also cool, because it's a harsher punishment than just dying. In that one, we start to discover new creatures like Dementors. We meet Lupin, and he's had such a cute persona with his messy hair and protective ways. I like him a lot. One of my favorite quotes from this one is, "Happiness can be found even in the darkest of time, if one only remembers to turn on the light." Great inspirational stuff right there. Plus 10 points for Dumbledore. But my favorite moment was when we see Buckbeak, the hippogriff, during Hagrid's class. Do you remember his books of monsters? I always wanted one. That was so funny when Longbottom was being devoured by it. It was such a magnificent scene when Harry felt like spreading his wings, sinking with that beast. Like, who wouldn't want to experience this sense of freedom? 10 out of 10 for this beautiful scene. Okay, bonus check for the third movie of this series. After all, this revolves around him, Sirius Black. Oh my god. Had a crush on that man when me was a young teen. I thought he was so hot, like a felon. Yes, sir, he's wanted. Hell yeah. Trying to catch him is like trying to catch smoke, and that was so hot. His ink too is kinda sick, not gonna lie. That's what I tell to my haters when they're hating. Trying to catch me is like trying to catch smoke. Say that to yourself, my piranha, my ohana. Don't let anyone tell you who you are. Almost forget, Fred and George's Marauder's map made its first apparition in that one, and it's one of the things that come from the magical world of Harry Potter, which I always wanted to have as the books of the monsters too, still to this day. I love how you just have to say, "I swear I'm up to no good," and Mischief managed to operate it with a wand. The concept of it all, I want one so bad. So for this one, S tier, because of the little details that I love. My favorite things. What is one thing from Hogwarts you wish you had? Let me know, I want to know. Number 4, Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. I don't know if you recall, but I'm gonna refresh your memory. I've been wanting to do a Harry Potter marathon, but I gotta make some time. Maybe later in December or during this month. But anyways, we see more in that one of a magic world outside of Hogwarts in the beginning, which is to me a little less exciting and beautiful because it lacks like because it lacks like that crazy stable architecture, which I love so much, of Hogwarts, and it feels like this fantastic world could crumble as the human world. So we get dragged off from our utopian views of this supernatural world a little bit more in that one. With Viktor Krum, the famous Quidditch player, it feels like there's corporations, even in the wizard world, that they act as muggles. They are the same. And there's a business world encircling even the wizards world. And we start to perceive this in that one. And to be honest, I don't like it this much because it kind of brings me to that dystopian common thing. Also, this is like emphasized because of a toxic Daily Prophet journalist, Rita Skeeter. We can see that even in Hogwarts, press, media, and drama follows. Cedric Diggory and Harry don't really care about that and feels a little bit uncomfortable towards this situation compared to Krum. And I like that. They resonate more with nobility here, which I love, because we don't like the drama, you know. I love all of the Harry Potters, don't get me wrong. But if I have to rank it for a trip down memory lane, this is what I have to do. Besides, I have my preferences. What would your ranking be? Ooh, I'm curious now. What I like about this one is the Ron and Hermione combo too, where Ron asks to bring her to the ball because she might be a girl, and he asked her without politeness, very clumsy as usual, and over disrespect that pissed her off because, oh, Hermione, you're a girl, okay, can I take you to the ball or something? So that was funnier because of a dynamic changing in front of our eyes, and you know, he always acts like he doesn't care about her, but obviously does each time, and it's cute in a way. And we get to see his true feelings when he gets jealous after seeing her being with Krum at the ball. Like, his expressions were priceless, and they had their first fight. Plus, he dressed with what his grandma gave him, right? If I try to recall why he wearing that suit that looks old AF, it looks like it smells like cat pee. Anyways, we get to have a moment with Moaning Myrtle too, and Harry trying to figure out the magnificent dragon egg, which held a clue about the next challenge of a goblet of fire. Gotta say it, this bath moment with the mermaid singing is truly one of my favorite too. Who wouldn't want to experience something like that? The sirens, the kelp, Mad-Eye, the overall dark theme of the die was very aesthetically pleasing to me. I love this energy so badly. Dark. And sirens rules, mermaid sucks. I said what I said. It's the first time we encounter Voldemort with his full body after resurrection in the graveyard, actually. I believe, yeah. Like, before it was encounters of bits and pieces of him. But there we see his body in its entirety, his skin and bones. So I enjoyed that a lot too. B tier, I think, for me this one is gonna be, because I love it, but not enough. Like, all the details that I love about it is very minimal. It's more of the aesthetic that I liked best. You know what I mean? It just misses something for me, and I don't know what that is. I just love the siren parts the most, with Voldemort parts a little bit too. And then I don't know. So maybe it is because of a more press/media type of aspect of things in that one, and it's kind of staining the magical world for me. I don't know, it's too human-like, you know? Oh yeah, I kind of love how Hagrid squeezed them cheeks though. That was funny and lovely. But yeah, B tier. Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix. This movie was released in 2007, I think, and I don't remember much of it, to be honest, because maybe it has impacted me less, probably because I like it the least. I don't know. Do you like that one? I believe we get to see more of a Ministry of Magic in that one, politics. And it seems like the frames are getting darker as the Harry Potter movie series developed through the years. Which, okay, I do appreciate that, but politics, We get to see the rebellion involving the students of Hogwarts, the secret organization Order of Phoenix, the Ministry of Magic, and the Death Eaters. I don't like that one because of this woman especially. Now that I remember her, Umbridge, the new defense against the Dark Arts Teacher of the Year, which is also a representative of the Minister of Magic, Cornelius Fudge. I hate her. I hate everything about her. I despise the authority, that little annoying giggle and laugh of hers, the tone of voice she holds, the mannerisms, her ugly ass fashion, the obsessive love for cats, the freaky and sneaky ways she possesses. She's the embodiment of human laws that I despise. So for this one, I think I'll put it in the C tier. Great actress, by the way, because I really hated her. But let me know if you agree, but it's a C tier. There's a bonus moment in that one, though, where we get a sneak peek of Severus Snape's memory. He helped Harry despite never truly showing an ounce of affection for him, because he was asked to by Dumbledore. So he was helping Harry, blocking his thoughts, which might be violated by Voldemort at any time during this period of time in the fifth one, and to help Harry to control his own thoughts. And they had a fight about James, his father. Severus was hating on him as usual. But before he could attack Harry's memory and go back to work, we had a glimpse of Snape's, and that makes me emotional, because when we watch it again, we get to recall his words. You have your mother's eyes, and the most heartbreaking one, always. So damn Snape, don't break my heart like this. But yeah, this was a sneak peek of him when we didn't know what he was all about. And rewatching it, it makes you feel a little bit like, your heart is breaking a little bit now, you know? Anyways, Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince, the number 6. Well, spoiler alert. I love that one the most, I'm already telling you. I think I already said it maybe once in an old gaming video, not an animatic, maybe, probably. But in this we already like a transition has been made from the 5th movie of the series, because it's already darker now, substantially. We get to see more of the Death Eaters, like with Bellatrix and Draco's mom. I love the spell, the Unbreakable Vow, and we see it for the first time in that one. It's such a beautiful pact. Seeing this helps us in finding beauty in the darkness, you feel me? There's a lot of moments, shots, frames that I love so much in the 6th one and that I wanted to share with you. We are also able to see the growth of the characters in that one a lot. Their personalities accentuate, especially Draco, because he feels the pressure of his family on his shoulders, the pressure of evil waiting on him. When Luna Lovegood found Harry, I thought that she wouldn't be able to if she wasn't this sweet overall unicorn weirdo. But the nuances behind the picture are casting a shadow on the ambience of the whole magical world. It gets darker, there's heavier protection, the kids are growing, we are growing as we watch it, and this is so nostalgic. But yeah. And Slughorn's potion class. That's when things started to get funny, funky, and so much more interesting. When Harry discovered the Half-Blood Prince book, he instantly excelled in the subject. being able to brew the potion of liquid luck with so much ease while others struggle, it was so pleasing to see. He won the Felix Felicis. I want to be able to brew a potion at Hogwarts so badly too. Imagine how cool that would be. I adored to see the day Dumbledore met Voldemort, our little Tom Marvolo Riddle, the most cutie pie there is. We discovered a facet of him which we can still see after, a feeling of, even when he was small, a feeling of superiority, a feeling of him knowing he was so much more different than the others, that he could hurt whoever he wanted. But he was clueless about him attracting snakes and speaking to them, and in that I found an innocence that was adorable, a sensitivity he erased through the years. So this is why Tom Marvolo Riddle was still like precious baby boy. And oh, I love this part too, when Hermione protected Ron for the trials of Quidditch, when they were selecting players. She secretly sabotaged a little bit his opponent, who wanted to be a keeper as well. I think his name was Cormac. He had a thing for her, for Granger, but the fact that she did this to go against her morals and her values for Ron and protecting him, for the one she loves in all secrecy, is a top tier move all by itself. She's the cutest. But Ron, as clueless about his love for Hermione, or even clueless about his own moves in the game, he managed to pass with his clumsiness as usual, and Rupert Grint's facial expression are so funny sometimes, like he know how to play jealous and G-mode and constipated nervous too so well. He funny, and when he got to play, he was so nervous that he drank the supposedly liquid luck Harry won in the potion class, so we get to see a little placebo effect here. So he looked dreadful, but then got so confident by himself, and sometimes it's all in the mind, and this proves it, Then we get to see Hermione being truly upset for the first time concerning Ron, like truly upset. He always low-key made her cry since the beginning of a time, since they knew each other, but that time it was different, and oh my god, poor baby. They love each other so much. Low-key, high-key. I liked also how clever and simple Malfoy's plan was when he tried to bring the Death Eaters inside of a school. Seeing him experimenting with an apple and a bird while still being nervous and so focused, it made me love his character a little bit more. You get to understand that the guy has brains despite being a douche. Plus, the shots are truly beautiful. Like, I love how the cupboard looks, I like how the camera was placed, I love the different angles, and I love the bird and the apple concept. To go from a living, an object to a living thing in order to experiment with his theory, and I loved that, truly. So a lot of moments that I actually like in the sixth one, damn. Yeah, I truly love the sixth one so damn much. We also learn about the consequences of a new spell like Sectum Sempra, which I don't like personally. It looks like invisible glass tears your body and spirit with that one, and it's not fair to me. During Aragog's funeral, we get to see a new dynamic between Hagrid, Slughorn, and Harry. For the weeaboos who don't know who Aragog is, it is Hagrid's giant spider friend. We saw him earlier, come on, follow the video, jeez. Anyways, remember, Harry drank the Felix Felicis in order to be lucky that night, to find Slughorn and to extract the memory he tampered with about Voldemort. I loved the part where they were drinking and Slughorn started to talk about his fish after the funeral. He said, "It was a student who gave me Francis. One spring afternoon, I discovered a bowl on my desk. just a few inches of clear water in it. Floating on the surface was a flower petal. As I watched, it sank. Just before it reached the bottom, it was transformed to a wee fish. It was beautiful magic, wondrous to behold. The flower petal had come from a lily, your mother. The day I came downstairs, the day the bowl was empty, was the day your mother. I know why you're here, but I can't help you. It would ruin me. This is the type of scripture that makes my heart beat a little bit faster. There's a beautiful energy of fragility, a delicate, powerful strength, yet weakness just transpire through the dialogue, and I just love it. Then we get to see one of my favorite parts in the whole series, which is the memory Slughorn was ashamed of. Tom was always cunning. He always wanted to win. And we can see that clearly in that one. Nothing could really stop him with the Horcruxes. And I always say I adore when he fondles with his ring in front of a fireplace while asking, "How does one split his soul?" Damn, knowing what was the answer. I love it so much. It's the little details. Everything about the scene possesses something that I adore, and I don't know why, but the energy is so much more intense. Especially when he whispered, "It will be our little secret." Damn! He already knew he was gonna be one of the most powerful wizard in that exact moment, and that is intense. I read the book of Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince. I don't have all the books. They were all as big as dictionaries at a time. But in this one, I remember the chapter of a cave. I walked in this cave. I briefed it differently because it appeared in my mind while reading. So I'm not deceived by this movie's interpretation of a cave at all. But for me, it was different. In the novel, it was richer and had a different density, and I walked through that cave too, you know, differently. So yeah, different density. We finish with the sixth one, with the death of Dumbledore. I guess a lot of fans might have been shedding a tear here and there. I guess nobody saw that coming also, and I wasn't sad. He was already pretty much old, so yeah, someone who with his long ass Merlin beards had already lived too long. I'm sorry, don't hate me for saying that. But the music, man, it was so good. The OST in that killed me. During his death, when everyone lifted their wands to the sky while crying, this is where you realize that without the soundtrack, without music, this moment would have been less impactful, less beautiful. Like, it was so beautiful. The soundtrack is insane. Like 100 out of 10 for the music. I loved it. It was heartbreaking. The music by itself. Like, you didn't have to have Dumbledore's death. The music in itself was so sad, and I loved it. It's so beautiful. Like, the violin's chord seems to play with my hearts. Sorry, I'm losing track of time. I just love video games and movie OSTs really badly. I have a playlist of that just when I'm in the mood to draw something, because yeah. And this is a really good one, by the way, this OST, especially if you want to be emotionally vulnerable while doing art. Listen to it. But yeah, this is holy energy. This is going to be in my holy tier, definitely. Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 1. It was released in 2010. Can you imagine? It has already been 11 years. Jeez, it doesn't feel like it. At the beginning of this movie, we can see the dark side taking over. And if you know me, you know that I low-key, high-key love that. I love both sides, light and darkness. And Voldemort's repugnance towards muggles and wizards being merged is no new news. And we start off this one with the majestic Nagini opening wide to eat her dinner, and I love this shot a lot. Like, this shot is so badass. With the collapse of the Ministry of Magic and Voldemort's rise to power, everyone is helping out Harry a little bit more, even Billy Weasley with a rare apparition. It would be cool if I made a top tier of all those lovely characters someday. That would be cool, huh? Even I wanted to make a top tier list about the Horcruxes, because I love them Horcruxes too. But yeah, things changed since Dumbledore passed away. Ron believing he had a wife and some kids genuinely after him, Hermione and Harry morphed into those Ministry of Magic's employees was a silly moment. A much needed laugh though through all the chaos. The Salazar Slytherin locket brought a lot of heaviness in this movie because it was there to emphasize the fact that there was a thin line of hope once they all got this Horcrux. Wearing it would be like living hell, sucking any type of energy I believe someone could have. And this was the key to emptiness. I also think that this was the first time we saw Harry's parents' gravestones in the movies. At Godric's Hollow, I love how, through thick and thin, Hermione stayed strong for Harry. It was a touching moment. Whereas Ron wasn't there anymore, due to fear and anger, we get to witness this glorious moment of him coming back to where he belongs with his two inseparable friends. Him fighting his fears to destroy the Horcrux was everything he needed to bury his anxiety to his character in the whole movies and books. Like, he grew so much through all of his movies too, and it's just like, we understand it. His best friend was the chosen one, and he felt like nothing next to him. But without him rescuing Harry, the chosen one wouldn't have been the chosen one even. And you get to see all the perfect dynamic between the characters lifting Harry up. Like, multiple times he could have just died. But a lot of people didn't get the credit they deserved for helping him out of a mess. Harry is just very lucky, yet misfortunate. And that's it about what his character holds. But for a character like Ron, it was like, wow, very courageous in a sense. So seeing Ron knowing that he's more than what he believes he is, it was an essential gift to see for us, because hell yes, he know damn well he's more than just nothing. It was funny seeing him coming back and being like also, oh, she's still mad at me, and Harry responding like, keep telling her about that silly ball of light touching your heart story thingy to find us. Like, yeah, you messed up, Ron, but thank you for coming back. I also love this one because of Mr. Lovegood's horrible tea. 10 points for Luna and the Ravenclaws. Like, yeah, give them the distasteful drink, please, it's funny. The animation of a story of the Deathly Hallows is so good. I really love the style of it all. How the three brothers were portrayed, to the cunning angel of death, to the wand, the beautiful cloak and the stone. I really like the story too. There's wisdom in modesty. It's classy. We get to see Dobby's death too. And to be honest, I wasn't that sad about it either because of Dobby's features for some reason in the movie. He looked younger than the first time I saw him in the second Harry Potter movie, so I felt like it wasn't the same Dobby. And I loved the old Dobby, you know? So despite me loving this character a lot, I just prefer how he looked in the second one. Harry Potter number 7 part 1 is an S tier for me. It felt like it was a new world and I needed time to adjust to it. Finally! The last one. Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows part 2. The beginning of the end. Hogwarts changed drastically. The heartwarming feeling we always got from it disappeared. It was like from sun-kissed stones to cold grey structures. The music too transports us into a melancholic vibe. It's totally different. It's still majestic though. There's my favorite part, which I will talk about at the end. I will save the best for last. And I think a lot of people know already what I'm talking about. But anyways, I loved the spontaneous plan of having a dragon ride from the vaults to escape. It was barbaric to change that beauty anyways. And oh, I love this scene so much too. Like for me, it's a holy tear shot when Voldemort speaks in parcel tongue with Nagini, his feet being all bloody and him walking, slithering through the dead bodies. I find it to be very aesthetically pleasing to me. I love this shot so much, don't ask me why. Like, I know it might be too gore for some, but I find it so sensual and badass. Like, yes, hell yes. The way he talks to her is very pleasing too. It just sounds beautiful. Hogwarts' protection starts to crumble from tiny pieces to pieces, even when Tom starts warning the students about, him coming for Harry. The energy of everyone gets dizzy and even to a certain point, psychedelic. I love how powerful and delicate Tom Riddle sounded when he kind of violated the protection walls. He sounded like a snake and it was profound. Some of you who might be watching this might be like, what the hell? He sounded horrible? I understand. I'm just letting you know about my opinions. At least it's different and weird. It's unique. Stay true to yourself. I just love when he talks. Anyways. McGonagall had this cool, awesome moment with that music being so heroic-like. She looked like a badass heroine, making the power move of using the spell she's always wanted to say. Piertotum locomor, protecting Hogwarts like a queen would. Yes, girl. Hogwarts get completely destroyed though, and we get to see the characters mustering the courage they need to fight, and I love this. Imagine how wild it would be if you had to take a shot each time I say love in this video. Like holy moly macaroni, I say love a lot. Because I just love Harry Potter, the whole Harry Potter series nearly. Even if I like some the least, Okay, finally in this one, these two kissed after years and years of not being able to. Like, thank you, but what a timing, man. We get to meet last time the loved one we lost. While Harry was petrified to death, Remus, Sirius, Lily, it was uneasy for him, as it would have been to anyone to face death. You know what? Without Draco's mom, actually, Narcissa Malfoy, Harry wouldn't have been alive. I just feel like she's a very intelligent, composed character who protects her family no matter what. She's a mother. She always have to somewhat clean for the mess that Lucius or Draco did, and she's just very beautiful, strong, and intelligent woman to me. I'm gonna say she's underrated because she saved him in a way. And if Voldemort or the Death Eaters didn't respect her, didn't believe her, they would have checked by themselves. Like, he would have died for good, to be honest. But let me know your opinion if you disagree. All of the characters we love in the whole Harry Potter series transform like fine wine. Neville Longbottom, for instance, who would have thought that he could speak when everybody was terrified of a Dark Lord? It's insane. From a shy boy to a courageous knight. There's worlds of the difference here. We love to see the glow up. Molly Weasley, Great Witch, hadn't been rusty for the years, protective, aggressive, and gentle, like a kitty cat, a cutie pie. Hell yeah. When we fly over Hogwarts with Tom and Harry, all I can think about is how cool it would be to actually fly like black smoke in the sky and looking like poisonous ink. So cool. But then merging together makes me think of what Helena Ravenclaw said when he was looking for Horcrux, you know? Strange, you remind me of him a bit. When he became the unintentional Horcrux Tom made, it was obvious that he was like him. He was a part of him, you know? Kind of soulmate energy. And I just like it a lot. Like a part of him was resonating and vibrating with him and his own insanity in a way. Neville saved Ron and Hermione. He killed Nagini, the lost Horcrux, and this is a big deal. He has a lot of merit in this one, and I'm happy to see it, to see the evolution. Here's when I get emotional in this one. Severus's death. When you watch it for the first time, you don't get it. You don't see it. But when you watch it after knowing what you need to know about him, it tears your heart apart. When I watched this part, I noticed that before he died, he hasn't stopped watching Harry in the eyes in his last minutes. And when Harry's gaze drifted away for a minute, he was like, "Look at me. You have your mother's eyes." And when you get to understand the man, comprehend his persona and analyze his mannerisms, here in this moment, for the first time, he was totally naked. Am I making sense here? Because for once he was completely letting go. And that broke my heart. Like, oh my God. Because he couldn't stop watching Harry's eyes. It was as if he was looking at Lily's eyes, the woman he fell in love with since many years. And that brought tears to my eyes now. When we get to the pensieve with Harry to see the memories that Severus gave him through his tears, this collection was everything. Lily was always treated like a freak by her sister. She bullied her, she hated her, and Severus was there to remind her of how special she was, when he believed that the other ones were ordinary and jealous of her. He saw her beauty from the beginning, you know, when nobody else might have seen it. And through the years, they started to grow apart because he was a Slytherin and she was a Gryffindor, as James Potter, who, by the way, bullied Severus every time he got the chance to. This is why he always hated Harry's father. I believe he never asked for the hate. Of course, like who would? He was always that quiet boy who most of the time was alone. And he just wanted to be with her. He was dying to be with her. Like, ever since they were children, he was in love with Lily and he never ceased to love her ever since. This is why his Patronus was a doe, like Harry's mother, Lily. If you love someone from the core of your being, the core of your being changes to reflect that. That is what a Patronus is basically. To protect wizards and witches from dementors, bringing light from pure love into the darkness, the depression. The Patronus is the pure projection for everything good in him that he saw in him, which made Snape who he truly was at the core of his being. It was all for his love for Lily in the end. He actually cared for the boy of a woman he loved through all of these years and hiding his true intentions and emotions, protecting him through tough love. And when we get to see that though Patronus, we also know that he is still in love with her even after her passing away for years. Which is probably why when Dumbledore saw Severus's Patronus, he said to him, "After all this time?" He responded with, "Always." And this was truly a beautiful moment. The music made it so much more magnificent, and yeah, holy tear. This one's a holy tear, because Severus, till his death, all he did was for Lily, you know? And such devotion, man, it's beautiful. Like, he's so damn beautiful. Like, everything he saw good in him, the only beautiful moments in his life was when he was with Lily, and that is so beautiful. You know what I mean? It was all her. His happiness was her. Holy tear. This one's a holy tear. When I watch this Severus Snape's part, I always need a tissue. But don't say it to anyone, because I'm a badass and my teeth are sharp like my mind and my agility. Tip of the week. Give some extra love to the animals around you today. Share the love.